The story begins with an egg that cracks open, and a little chick named Shakatillo comes out, believing that the yolk named Gudetama is its mother. However, Gudetama tells Shakatillo that it is not its mother, but rather a chicken. This excites Shakatillo, and it expresses its desire to find its mother. Gudetama, on the other hand, couldn't care less and just wants to live a carefree life. Despite Gudetama's indifference, Shakatillo insists that they need to find their mother to stay safe. They find themselves in a restaurant, realizing they need to escape quickly. Unfortunately, they narrowly avoid being stepped on and end up in the hands of a chef, who places Gudetama on a plate to be eaten. In the restaurant, Gudetama converses with various food items waiting to be consumed. Meanwhile, Shakatillo tries to rescue its sibling and realizes the urgency as it witnesses eggs and chickens being cooked. In a moment, a child notices Gudetama and attempts to eat it, but Gudetama's reaction causes the child to cry and tell their mother that the egg is alive. Taking advantage of the situation, Shakatillo escapes with Gudetama. Meanwhile, a paranormal journalist witnesses the event and becomes intrigued by the fact that he can see a chick carrying an egg. Simultaneously, the story introduces the overweight and unpopular president of Japan, who is facing opposition due to his poor governance. Then, as the yolk and the chick walked down the street, a protester grabbed them and, seeing that it was an egg, took the opportunity to throw it at the president. From that moment on, Gudetama and Shakatillo find themselves with the overweight president. As they get to know him better, they realize that the president is actually a lazy glutton who does nothing and only complains about his cruel fate of being a leader. Gudetama asks if he can't change, and the president replies that it's too late for him because he's old. He tells the little egg that he should enjoy his youth because when you're young, you can decide what you want to be. Upon hearing this, Gudetama decides that it wants to become the president. In Gudetama's imagination, it becomes the president and doesn't have such a bad time. Thanks to this dream, the chubby president understands that maybe being a president isn't as bad as he thinks. With a new mindset, the president decides to work more in his own style and tells the egg that it should take care of itself because logically, Gudetama will end up rotting. Shakatillo realizes that he's right. At that moment, the president's assistant enters, and upon seeing him lying on the floor, he calls for security, assuming that the egg and the chick were the ones who harmed the president. The little ones manage to escape, and unfortunately for the yolk, it gets shot by a fan and falls from the building. Shakatillo quickly takes the elevator to save its sibling, as the yolk takes longer to fall due to its resistance. Just as it's about to fall, Shakatillo hurries to catch it, but then we realize that Gudetama used the stickiness of its albumin to create a makeshift rope and save itself. Since Shakatillo doesn't know what happened, it continues to wait for its sibling, and unfortunately only receives a piece of sauce that someone dropped from the building. Several days passed, and we see the yolk and the chick searching for their mother hen in various places, but their efforts seem to be in vain. At one point, they come across a stinky egg that asks our protagonists for some soy sauce to ease its pain. Shakatillo can't stand the smell of the rotten egg, and then a chubby guy in the park comments that he would eat an egg. Upon hearing that, Gudetama realizes that if it had to choose between living in putrefaction or being eaten, it believes that being someone's food would be better. The rotten egg agrees and tells them that it was about to be eaten by someone, but due to an argument, they forgot to eat it and let the egg rot on the plate. How unfair. After hearing this, Shakatillo realizes that Gudetama's backside is starting to rot. Shakatillo thinks that he needs to do something quickly, or his brother will expire just like the stinky egg. The stinky egg, being a good guy, informs them that there exists a miraculous substance that could prevent Gudetama from rotting, so they go in search of the substance that would save him. When they arrive, they find a dangerous gang led by a half-cooked egg who used to exchange the miraculous substance for soy sauce. While Shakatillo is about to negotiate with them to get the substance, a hard-boiled egg advises them not to approach the mafia. Seeing that the egg is also rotting, it promises to help them steal the substance. They infiltrate the mafia's hideout, where the hard-boiled egg disguises Shakatillo, although the egg almost ruins the plan by starting to drink soy sauce. The chick rescues it, and they reach the place where the substance is kept, guarded by a gigantic omelet. They navigate through the ducts to the top of the room, and there the hard-boiled egg realizes that it is also rotting. They lower Gudetama to steal the substance, but unfortunately, some thieves appear, and the friends end up being accused of robbery and are imprisoned. Seeing himself locked up, Shakatillo laments that he will never meet his mother and expresses his desire for her to teach him how to fly. Although Gudetama responds that chickens don't fly, the chick insists that the key is to never give up. Suddenly, the huge omelet boss and his henchmen appear, and although Shakatillo assures them that they didn't steal anything, the boss doesn't believe them. Then, Gudetama hatches a plan with the real thieves, and since the henchmen are cowardly and refuse to chase them, Omelet decides to temporarily free the friends. They meet the sleepy journalists who tell them that if they recover their merchandise, they will be set free. Otherwise, they will be devoured. Thus, the friends end up in the kitchen of the lazy centenary eggs, who use the substance to dry themselves. Upon seeing the friends, the little chick explains to them that their lives depend on recovering that substance, and the good-natured eggs return it to them. Then, the friends give it to the omelet, who, grateful, sets them free and gives them a bag of magical substance that seems to prevent Gudetama from further rotting. Later, the friends were saying their goodbyes when the drowsy journalists appear and take Gudetama away. Although Shakatillo wants to chase after them, he first needs to retrieve the lost Q code. Gudetama is captured by the journalist and his assistant, but the journalist becomes insane because despite his efforts, he cannot see Gudetama move and perceives it as a normal egg. The assistant, who can see Gudetama, tells the journalist that the little egg is searching for its mother, inspiring the journalist to write a fantastic story about a giant egg that eats humans and plans to invade Earth while searching for its mother. However, when the journalist presents his idea to a producer, the producer thinks it is terrible, and even though Gudetama shows itself to the producer, he cannot see it as alive and believes it is just a simple egg, leading to his dismissal. Shakatillo arrives, looking for Gudetama, and tells it that he lost his core code, but fortunately, he finds it stuck to the egg. The assistant scans it and discovers that Gudetama's mother, named Julia, is on a farm. However, when she calls the place, she learns that Julia has been sent to a restaurant where she may have already been cooked. Then, the unemployed journalist arrives and surprisingly manages to see the lazy Gudetama. He happily offers to take him to the restaurant. Upon arrival, the producer leaves Gudetama with Shakatillo at the restaurant, where the horrified chicken discovers that they cook eggs there. He imagines his mother saying goodbye and begins to cry. However, the kind chef reassures him and tells him that his mother could be in a nearby chicken coop. When Shakatillo is about to go and look for her, the man offers him a better future by cooking Gudetama, but the little egg refuses because it prefers to continue helping its sister. They set off to find their mother, but a strong wind blows a leaf that obstructs Shakatillo's view, causing him to slip along with Gudetama. Fortunately, they are saved, and as they watch the beautiful fireflies, someone kidnaps Gudetama. Shakatillo hesitates between rescuing Gudetama or finding his mother, but decides to rescue him, remembering their strong bond. He discovers that the kidnapper took him because he mistook him for his own chick. The next morning, the siblings set out again, and when Shakatillo attempts to fly with Gudetama on his back, they end up falling. Thankfully, Gudetama manages to stop their fall. Upon entering the farm, they encounter many chickens that respond to the name Julia, which turns out to be a breed and not a name. Hopeless, the friends leave the place, and upon seeing blue eggs, Gudetama remembers that it was born from one. Hearing this, the farmer tells him that the only chicken laying blue eggs was Hannah. With this revelation, Shakatillo realizes that he is not Gudetama's sibling. He gives his code to the farmer, who tells him that his mother had passed away, causing the little chicken to cry inconsolably. Later, the farmer tells Gudetama that she wanted to introduce him to his mother, but discovers that the hen had just left. Fortunately, Shakatillo appears and, forgetting his sorrows, stops the truck that was taking her away, allowing the mother and son to reunite. Then, the proud hen asks her son how he found her, and he tells her that the adventure began when Shakatillo forced him to travel, and that he had met many eggs that made him realize how normal he was. The hen embraces him, saying that she had come all the way there because he was very brave. Shakatillo tells her that his son dreamed of being eaten before decomposing. Then, the grandmother who was there tells him that she will eat him in the best dish. Sadly, moments later, we see Gudetama saying goodbye to Shakatillo and being devoured by the grandmother. Later, the farmer reads the core code correctly and discovers that Shakatillo's mother is in another farm. The excited little chick sets off to find her without noticing that another Gudetama lazy egg has just been born. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more interesting movies.